Hey, my friends, happy Tuesday. It's Jen Pittabach with By the Shore Stamping. I am here with another Teach Me Tuesday video today. And today I'm actually featuring my my Black Friday Scrappy sale. So if you're on my email list, you will have received an email the last couple of days about my 32 pages of scrapbooking directions for half the price that they would normally cost. So these are from a variety of my classes over the years. So if you've been with me for a while, you may have recognized some of the older stuff, but I doubt that you've been to all of these events. And so I used to do scrapathons a lot, and I used to do classes at scrapbooking weekends. And so I've compiled a whole collection of scrapbook page directions that I have compiled for my Black Friday sale. So altogether, there's 32 layouts that are in these sheets, and they're on sale for $49, which if you bought them all individually, they sell for about $15 a piece usually, so those would have been about almost $100 to do them all individually. So what I wanted to do for today's Teach Me Tuesday, because tomorrow is the last day to buy this little bundle of tutorials, so I wanted to show you how to use these when you're working at home, because of course these are all from past classes and events, and so the product that's featured in these may not be available anymore. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to recreate a layout using one of these directions so that you can see how it works. So just know this is in black and white because I printed it in black and white by accident. It is in color in the files. So all of the pages are in color and you have all the measurements for everything. So this one is actually a really short one. I've changed the way I've done directions over the years. And so this one, it's just cutting directions at the top, and then I just placed a few tips here. And of course you have the nice big photo that you'll be able to follow along with too. The little embellishments that I used, we're gonna have to improvise, of course, because we don't have those products anymore. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to recreate this page using those directions. So what it says in here is mint cotton paper. So I put cotton in quotation. So if you know me, that means that this was cotton. It looks like cotton. So that's what that was. So those two pieces here. And then it also has wood grain paper, and it says I cut 3 1/2 inch by 12 inch pieces, and I used one wood grain and one of the stripe sides. So that means it's a double-sided paper. So I just cut 3 of those 1/2 inch by 12, but then I used the front and the back on that, and then I had a third one on this side, and then the last one is 3 of the wood grain that are 3 1/4 by 10 1/2. So what I did is I just picked 2 patterns. I actually picked 3 patterns because I wanted to use this as my so-called cotton paper. So that's going to be kind of a focal point pattern. And then I'm going to use the more muted to kind of soften that really bold paper. I'm going to use this one as my wood grain. And then this one I'm going to use as that extra 1/2 inch, just because the back side of this was a little busy. So you'll have to kind of work with your papers a little bit, but you'll see that you can kind of make it work with anything. So what I said in the directions here in terms of your cotton paper is you need one 4 by 12 piece and one 8 by 12 piece. And then I put in parentheses, just cut one 12 by 12 sheet of paper at 4 inches. And then you're going to use this 4-inch piece on one side, and you're going to use the other piece on the right side. Okay, so let me just make sure this is actually 12 by 12 and that I haven't cut it. I have not. So I'm going to cut it this way so that the ornaments are facing the right direction. And like I said in my tips, I'm just going to cut it 4 inches, and that will give me one 4-inch piece for my left-hand side and one 8-inch piece for my right-hand side. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to set that aside for a second. And then I said I wanted 3 of these 1/2 inch by 12s. Now remember, I used 2 of them as the solid, as the back side, and 1 as the solid stripe that's going to be on the other page. So let me just show this to you again. So this piece here, and it's hard to see, I apologize, because it's black and white, but this piece here, and this piece here, and this piece here are the wood grain, as well as this strip right here are wood grain. So I'm gonna cut this pattern paper to be my wood grain paper. And then the back side of this was the yellow stripe, but like I said, I'm not using the back side of this because it's too busy. So I'm gonna cut my mossy meadow to be those 2 1/2-inch strips for that, okay? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut 1/2 inch by 12. So I'm just going to cut that. So there's that piece. And then the other ones, I need 3, 3 3¼ by 10½. So let's see, can I get 3 of these out of this one? 3¼ I can. 3¼ and 3¼ and these are going to be 3¼ by 10½. So I can open this up and I'm going to go ahead and cut these at 10½. So there's 1 and 10½ is 2. So you'll need to kind of look at the paper a little bit to be able to see what I used it for and know how to cut your other patterns, because of course based on the patterns you're using you might have to switch it up a little bit. Okay, so there's those pieces, and then I'm just going to cut 2 1/2-inch by 12s of this. So instead of cutting 3 1/2-inch by 12 of the wood grain like it said to do, because I was using the front and the back, I used 1 for the wood grain piece, and then I'm going to cut 2 more in a different pattern that looks a little bit better. Okay, so there you have that. And that was all of the pieces of pattern paper, I believe, that I needed to cut. So now I can go ahead and put that on my cardstock. Okay, so now I'm going to pull in my white pieces. You know, I turned off my light because it was doing shadows, but it feels really dark. So hopefully this is better. I'm recording this later in the day than I normally like to. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side. So remember, we cut our 2 pattern papers, the bold patterns. I'm going to put 1 on this side, like that, 1 on this side, so you can see. So like that, all the way over on both sides. And then for this side, I put this strip down one side, and I should have, hang on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I hope that's not too jumpy, but I wanted to kind of give you a higher view of the pages because you can't really see the whole thing. Okay, so then I'm going to do that. And then this one is actually going to go, put this here like that, and then I'm going to layer this one on top like that. Okay, so there's that. And then these are going to go along the edge here. So we're going to put these down like this. And then we're going to do that. And I actually rounded the corners on these. So I'm going to do that here. There's 1. There's 2. Sorry, I'm kind of off the screen here, but I'm just rounding those corners. And then the last one. Okay. Like that. All right, now I had 1 4x6 piece. Okay, so now that's kind of the basic layout. So let me just go ahead and get these laid down, and then we're going to do our photo mats. So I'm just going to tape these down. And of course, you can use whatever paper you have on hand, which is the beauty of this. Okay, so I'm just going to tape these down. So this is a really easy layout to recreate because you just literally cut a 12 by 12 piece of paper at 4 inches, and you're going to use each on the side here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just tape one strip here. Okay, so I'm just using a coordinating pattern. Now you could, if it worked, use the back side, which is what I did on the original, but for me, the original of this was too busy, so I had to pick a different pattern. I'm going to layer this one, which coordinates with the right hand side, over the top of this first one. So again, I'm just using these little template sheets to give me the measurements and the photo of the picture, of the layout rather, and then you can just copy it and do the layout over and over again in a variety of patterns and themes. So obviously this is going to be kind of like a Christmassy pattern. Okay, so there's that one. Now I'm going to just pick these up for a second. I'll move this over so you can see a little bit more. So this is the 8-inch side of that paper. Remember, we just cut it at 4 inches. And I'm just going to tape that down. Okay, so I'll tape this down right along the edge of my 12 by 12. Okay, like that. I'm going to move this because you don't really need it. It's just in my way at the moment. Then I'm going to take a strip of the Mossy Meadow. Again, just a coordinating pattern from the paper pack. Ugh, I don't know why this is being ridiculous lately, but it is. So I'm just going to tape this down, just overlapping that seam. Okay, like that. Now, to finish off this side, we're going to do the 3 strips. So I like to kind of layer these so that I know where I'm putting them. And that looks about right, maybe just slightly up. So now I can go ahead and attach those. And okay, sorry about that. I had to take a quick break to replace my adhesive. So I'm going to tape this down. Okay, so this one, whoops, you want to put it like right about there. Tape that down, and we'll do the next one. And this one's gonna go right here. Okay, and then the third one. What is happening? Okay. And the last piece will go down the bottom here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's just going right down the bottom. So it's like a tiered thing. Okay, so there's the basic layout. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'll kind of scroll through here so you can see. So it's a 12 by 12 page, and that's the left and the right side. Okay, now I need a piece of mint macaron that is 10 by 1. So I'm just going to cut a piece from here. All right. And I also need, so I'm just pulling coordinating cardstock colors from the pattern paper. So you'll pull whatever paper you have. So for instance, if you were using this pattern paper, I'm pulling the mint, and I'm also going to pull that mossy meadow for my photo mats. But you could pull the blue if you wanted to. You could pull that bright pink, whatever colors you wanted to do. I'm going to do the mint, and then my photo bases I'm going to do in the mossy meadow. And so I need 3 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So that's 3 4x6 photos. So you want a quarter mat. So I'm just going to cut this paper right in half, and that's going to give me 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So there's one. I need another one. And then I need another one. And then in the original, I actually matted these on white paper as well. So if you, since I'm using white as a base, I'm not going to do that. I'm using white as my base of my scrapbook page. I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to use the one layer. If you wanted to do 2 layers, this one would be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, so that you could use a 4x6 photo, and then the white layer would be 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Okay, but I'm just doing the one for this one. And then my mossy meadow photos here are gonna be 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, so that I can put, actually they're gonna be 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, so I can put a 2 by 2 or 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. I'm going to do 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 on this one, which is the larger layer. So I need 3 of those as well. So 2 and 3. I may end up cutting those down and putting them on white, because that is kind of busy. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to do that. So let me do 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So that's going to allow me to put a 2 by 2 photo in here. Okay. So you can either print it 2 by 2, or you can chop down a larger photo to fit in there. So 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and that means I'm going to use white to do a 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 base for those. So 1, I think I'm only going to get 2 out of this. 2, yep. Let me grab one more piece of white. Sorry, both my file cabinets were open at the same time, which is never a good idea. All right, and then 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. Okay. So now I can layer these blues, or these greens, on the white. Okay. And they're going to go down the bottom here. First, I'm going to take my mint piece that we cut, and I'm going to cut a banner end in that. Okay. So cut in the center, corner to center, corner to center, and that's going to go, I don't know if you guys can see, we're going to put that down here at the top of that last piece. So I'm going to go ahead and tape that down. And see, what I love about this is normally when I'm scrapbooking, I have to like lay everything out. I don't tape anything, and I wait to make sure I like it all together. But because I've already designed this layout, I know I like how it looks, so I can go ahead and just commit and tape it all down. So that is the beauty of having these little cheat sheets. Okay, so do that. Okay, like this. Sorry, I'm kind of taping off the side here just because it's easier, so I don't get bumpies when I'm taping over these layouts. Okay, so then these are going to go down here like this. And actually, I may want to mat this one too, because it's kind of swimming in the middle there. But these two I'm not going to mat because they're on white cardstock. So those are going to go like this. Okay, I think I may actually do one of those matted. So I actually did this 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I'm going to do my white at 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Okay, so then that's going to go on here like so. Okay, and then there's the basic layout. So now I just can attach these down. I may actually put these on with dimensionals because I love me some dimensionals. Okay, so I ran across the room, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and attach those down. And then I'll probably put the one above it on dimensionals too, just so that they coordinate. Plus I'm going to probably decorate it a little bit too, like I did in the original, which I don't know if I'll do that in the video. I just wanted to show you how to do the measurement parts. So we'll see. Let's just take a look at where I'm at. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take the backings off of these. I'll move this up a little bit so you can see, because I know I'm kind of out of the screenshot there. So I'm going to just do like right about there. Looks good. Okay, so one here. We're just doing a cluster or a line of 3. And right about there looks good. Okay, so now I can tape these together. Like so. All right. I'm going to tie, I think, some linen thread around this one, kind of like I did in my original. So let me grab some thread, and I'm going to just wrap this around here before I attach it. Probably do twice. Trim that off. And I want to have it kind of over here. So I'm going to go ahead, tie that in a knot like this. And I may end up tying it in a bow. I don't know yet. I'm going to use my little box of doodads to finish that off. So this is my box of doodads. So I have a big box of things that have been accumulating that I'll use to decorate that. Okay, so now this, I'm going to go ahead and attach this, because I don't really need to worry about that anymore. So we'll attach this, a couple in the middle, and then this page, this side is done other than the embellishing, and I'll show you the sample version in a second, so that will give you some ideas. I don't have the finished pages anymore because these were pages that I actually sold once they were done. Okay, and so then this one, all I have to do is tape these down. And then I did another little like embellishment cluster in the corner. So I'll do the same for this one. So I'm just gonna tape this down like that. And we'll do the second one. Ugh, goodness. This tape is just not my friend today, and I don't know why. It's very annoying. That's gonna have to work for today. All right, and then this one's gonna go, this probably should have went a little bit higher, but that's okay. There you go. So there is the left page. So I'm gonna do a little cluster here with some of my little doodads from my box, and then I will do another little cluster here. This will also kind of serve as title. So if you look at my original, you can see that here I had like a little cluster of leaves and a little thankful saying, and then another little cluster of leaves over here. So that's what I'm going to mimic in my finished one. And in the sample sheet, you can see I did close-ups of those too, so you can see them. And again, this is all in color. I just printed it in black and white by accident. So there you go. I just copied that layout in a matter of minutes, and that's basically what you can do with all of the layouts in this bundle. So that's 2 pages out of the 32 that are included in that bundle. So again, that only goes through tomorrow, which is Wednesday, December 1st. I'll put the link in the description of this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to shout. I hope this helps inspire you a little bit to do some more scrapbooking this season, and if you do, please be sure to share with me. I'd love to see your versions of these pages. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and click the like button below, and if you really want to make my day, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week. Bye for now.